good and the bad of mock driving tests. There are a lot of mock driving tests on the internet, and you need to realize first that you have to prepare for your driving test. During your preliminary stages, you need to be practicing. You need to have your guardian, your mom, your dad, an older sister, brother to help you and to show you how to drive. Mock tests are just that, a mock test. It's not a real test. You need to prepare during your preliminary phase, your probationary phase to get better. You need to be working on parallel parking maneuvers. You need to be working on right of way. You need to be working on merging out on a freeway. You need to be working on driving in a neighborhood at the legal speed with pedestrians. You need to be working on how to deal with anxiety. If your instructor is not communicating to you, they're not helping you. Many of these mock driving tests you see, some of the instructors don't talk at all. You need to communicate to your student what the expectations are. When I drive with my students, I'm very clear. I'm patient. I tell them in advance what maneuvers they need to do. I have a sense of humor. We're preparing our next generation drivers, and it is extremely important that we do our best. Doing our best is not sitting in a seat hoping they would do the right thing on a roundabout. Your instructor is your instructor. He or she wants you to be successful. They want to show you how to hold the steering wheel. They give you support. They tell you what to do so you know what to do on the test. I'm not against mock driving tests, but are they really preparing you for the reality of driving? Every state, every province is different in terms of the expectations, excuse me, for a test. You're expected to drive at the speed limit. You shouldn't have to guess. Your instructor will give you that insight. You're expected to perform an emergency stop. S-T-O-P. You shouldn't have to guess, what is my instructor going to say? What is my instructor going to do? You should know what's expected of you. You're going to be driving about 45 to 50 minutes. You're going to be going through a neighborhood. You're going to be going on residential streets. You're going to practice and go on to the expressway, merging on with your blinker on at the correct speed, looking over your shoulder at your blind spot. And if I'm saying some of these things and they're new to you, you need to be subscribing to the channel. You need to be looking at my content because I want to remind you again, I am a state certified driving instructor. And that means something because I care more about your welfare, Y-O-U, than my welfare. Because driving is a privilege, not a right. And when your instructor just sits in the passenger seat and doesn't give you support, the likelihood of you crashing does increase by about 75%. Good instructors are kind. They're always reminding you to do your best. Next time I need you to turn hand over hand. When you made your left turn, you accelerated too soon and we almost sideswiped a car. Good instructors are always wanting you to live your best authentic life. When you watch my content, I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to narrate as if you were in the car with me. Because when you're in the car preparing for your test, that's not a time to prepare. When you're in your car, you should know what to do for the test. There's no secret formula. There's no cheat code. Hey, I'm going to go through the back door and grab the steering wheel. When you get into the car, you need to know where you have your hands. You need to know how to shift into first gear, second gear, third gear. And if you don't practice, you will be in the wrong gear and the car will stall. When you're coming up to a four-way stop, S-T-O-P, the first car there is the first car to leave. If you don't know these elements, then you need to refer to my content on rules of the right of way. We all need a confidence builder, and good instructors give you confidence. Good instructors encourage you to learn from your mistakes. It takes up to 10 years to learn how to drive. And within this time, you're going to learn from your parents, you're going to learn from your instructor, you're going to learn from your friends. This is why insurance rates are very high from age 15 to about 25. Why? And the age group that is watching this content, you tend to have the most accidents because you drive the most miles. And then on the other end of the spectrum, around 63 to 65-year-olds, you have accidents too because you're on medication, you have mobility problems. You assume that because you've driven 25, 35, 45 years, that I don't have to stop at the stop sign. I don't have to use my blinker. That is so far from the truth. Because I've taught teens, I've taught our seniors. Each group needs different things. And when you look at the content, we show you how to have your hands 7 and 5, 9 and 3, 10 and 2. Everyone is different. You can't assume one video will teach you what you need to know. I'm 6'4", 260. My hand positioning is different than a person who is 5'10". You need to wear thin sole shoes so you can feel the gas and the brake. You need to prepare for your road test. Does a mock driving test really give you that value? Because you're going to have someone telling you what to do, but you need to know what to do. So you have to prepare in advance mentally for your test by driving in your neighborhood, making 12 right turns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 consistent right turns. And if you're shifting a manual, you need to know how to shift from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and downshift in the proper gear. If you don't downshift into the proper gear, you're going to lose control of your vehicle, and your vehicle will buck and surge. And then that is a minus. Once you make your 12 right turns, then you're going to go into the neighborhood and make 12 left turns, looking left, right, left. You have to do this in your mind. And it's nice to have your mom with you, your bestie with you, your dad with you. But ultimately, when you go to take your test, whether you're 16 and a half, 18 and a half, 24 and a half, you need to know what to do prior to getting into that testing situation, okay? You have to learn to have control of your vehicle. So you're making your left turns in the neighborhood, coming up, looking left, right, left, downshifting from third to second to first without the vehicle bucking and surging. And then you push your clutch in. You shift to 1. You lift your foot slowly off the clutch and you accelerate gradually. You have to learn to yield in the neighborhood for kids. Kids don't understand the dangers of cars. You must yield for pedestrians. And when you're riding a manual or automatic, you're coming up to an intersection and there's a pedestrian jogging or a biker riding their bike, you must be aware of the right hook. And if you don't know what the right hook is, you need to look at my content. Right hook. And if you're making a left and you see a cyclist or a pedestrian or a jogger, you need to be aware of the left cross. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to fail your road test. I am an actual certified instructor, and I take great pride in that, but yet I'm very humble. I read the comments, I reply to your comments because I want you to learn and live your best authentic life. So you need to subscribe to my channel. You need to give it a thumbs up. And I'm going to have more real life content to help you become a better driver. I love you guys. Bye.